Are you going to start a party? Are you going to be starting a think tank? Lots of rumors floating around. What's your plan to give those millions of Canadians a voice, as you put it?
Yeah, the plan is to be able, in the next future, to have a new party that will promote conservative values, that will fight for Canadians who want real change in this country. So, answering your question, I will have some discussion with people all across the country the next couple of weeks. And the goal is to have a new party that will represent them.
You had a lot of support from within the party. You had a lot of support from within the party. You came in number 2. It was a razor-thin margin. Has anybody from within the party given you a sense that they will be following you, that they too will be leaving the Conservative Party? What conversations have you had with other people from your former caucus?
First of all, I didn't have any conversation with my former caucus member the last couple of weeks. And the last conversation that I had was with the leader, Andrew Scheer. That was 9 days ago, Tuesday, 9 days ago, when before Andrew issued his statement. So we had a very polite discussion. And after that discussion, I realized that I don't have any place in that party anymore. And, after a year, I tried to fight for the Conservative who want to have bold reform in Canada, reform in line with what they believe. And I was not successful. As you know, I'm the only one in the House who fighting for Canadian consumers on supply management. I'm the only one in the House who is against a trade war with the U.S. And so I tried to influence that party. But after a couple of discussion, I decided that I will be best serve Canadians if we create a new party.
Vous êtes en train de diviser le vote conservateur au Canada et ainsi aider les libéraux à gagner la prochaine élection.
So you think? Will you think that the splitting the Conservative vote will help assure a victory for the Liberals? I think that the true Conservatives in Canada, the true Conservative reformists, are going to join this new party that I'm creating. So, listen, I've been in politics to defend ideas. That's what I've been doing for the last 12 years. And I really appreciated the leadership race that allowed me to position myself, but also to understand the Canadians share my views. As you saw, I was able to pay all of my leadership debts in a record time, not because my name is Maxime Bernier, but because I promote ideas that people want to hear debated, and I'm going to do it in another forum. And I hope that the majority of Conservatives will join me, will join our new party if they want to defeat Justin Trudeau's government. But there are people that are accusing you why don't you accept the verdict of the Conservatives that elected Andrew Scheer? Some people are saying you're a sore loser. Well, it's a question of politics and ideas. This party isn't holding true to the ideals that that are dear to me. So their politics is in contradiction with my beliefs. So, of course, they listen to the polls to elaborate policies, but when we have ideas and we want to share them, we should do it with passion and conviction and hold true to our beliefs. So it's not a question of knowing whether we're going to please or displease. There's a notion of personal responsibility, but it's up to us to take a stance even on issues that may not be popular and may become popular later on. So carrying out politics without always keeping an eye on polls and telling people and Canadians in a coded language to make sure that we don't make any enemies is not my style.
What makes you think that you have a chance, a better chance, of beating Justin Trudeau than Andrew Scheer?
That would be the ideas. People want to change, and I think they're ready for that. They want to have a discussion about, supply management. They want to have a discussion about the equalization formula. They want to have a discussion about maybe more private delivery of services in the healthcare. So they want to have a lot of debates, and I'm not afraid to do that. I think it would be good to have this debate. And I'm looking forward to having this debate. And I know that it will be good for this country. More freedom, less government. It's always good.
But you couldn't beat him at the leadership. So what makes you think you can do better than him in an election?
But for me, it's not a question of leadership. It's a question of ideas. That's what I'm doing right now. And that's why I'm in politics. What is the goal to be in politics if you don't believe in anything?
Raising a lot of money beyond paying off your debt. Can you take any of that with you?
No. If you know the Election Canada legislation, and so all the money that we raised was going to pay the debt, and we did that. So I can tell you now that my financial agent will do a report to Election Canada, and we'll have a surplus in our campaign about maybe between $4,000 and $5,000. That surplus will go to the Beauce Conservative Riding Association. But
on the
not to
side
me.
For this new party?
No. Today, if somebody wants to give money for fighting for these ideas, they can go on my website, MaximeBernier.com, and that will go to a new account, and it's very different. So I'm not a conservative anymore, and people who want to give money right now, they won't have any tax credit. So that's important to say.
Hey, Mr. Bernier, when you say that our immigration policy forcibly changes the cultural character and social fabric of Canada, what do you mean? Can you give me an example of how that's happening?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that the Trudeau government, they're focusing on diversity. And I'm not against that. But the goal must be unity in diversity. People who came here, they came here to share the Canadian values, the rule of law, equality between men and women, respect, tolerance. And so that's why I receive a lot of support from people from other ethnic group. And they were saying, you're right, we are Canadian. And also we can be from India, we can be from other country, but we're proud to be Canadian. And I think we must focus a little bit more on that. So that's very important for me.
Mr. Trudeau's adopted that you consider extreme multiculturalism, that you would reverse.
We'll have time to have that discussion, and I will.
You talk about his extreme multiculturalism. What policy was it that made it extreme multiculturalism?
You know, I really appreciate your question, and we'll have time to discuss that. Today, I want to discuss my decision to leave the Conservative Party of Canada. But yes, I will have other exchange with journalists, and I will have other. Everything that I'm doing today is based on the last years, and I realize that this party intellectually they just want to try to please everybody. But when you please everybody, you unplease everybody. So I prefer to do politics differently and to speak about what I believe. Yeah.
Are
there people in the riding behind you? I certainly hope that the Beauce voters are behind me. I'm going to, of course, have a campaign, and I'm going to, of course, run in Beauce at the upcoming election as leader of this new party, and we'll see what happens.
Yes, I'm keeping my seat in the House. I will run for the next election. Like I just told you, the goal is to create a new party, and I hope that in a couple of weeks from now, it will be up and running. And yes, I will continue.
What would the foundation of this new party?
Called for others to do the same. Why haven't you stepped down?
Because it's a good question. Because I didn't change. It's the party who changed. I didn't change. I'm the same guy. I believe in the same ideas, and people in Beauce, they know that. So there's no difference, I hope, for them.
Do you see yourself as the new Preston Manning, with the proviso that Preston Manning took years to develop the Reform Party as an alternative to the Progressive Conservative Party?
You know, we have a year to build a new party, and I'll put all my effort to be sure to be successful.
What party so far? What conversations have you had?
I'm starting that conversation right now.
Have you not talked to anybody, though, in the lead up to this?
I know. I'm starting that conversation right now.
Le Club Mad Max a été lancé sur votre site web. C'est quoi le Club Mad Max?
Oh, ça fait longtemps que le club
What's the story with the club on the website? Well, that club was created a while ago. It's the Mad Max Club was created to share ideas. These people helped me pay back the debt for the leadership race.
Oh, for sure.
338 riding.
Absolutely, that would be the
goal.
goal.
You think it'll be up and running by the next election?
I think so, and I will do everything to be ready for that.
You say that you want to discuss ideas. Your colleagues have ideas on strategies, but others are having ideas, questions on ideas. So let's talk about ideas. What should the Canadian government do for all of the immigrants that are showing up at our borders? What are your concrete proposals? Well, I already discussed this. It won't be the first time. And during the leadership race, I broadcast a policy on immigration. If you go on my website, you'll see my policy is clearly laid out. And I said that we need economic immigration. We also want to have to make sure that it's fair. And that's when the problem first arose when I was running for leadership, of people crossing the border illegally. And so I said that we had to do something about the third Safe Party agreement. So my policy is clearly laid out. There's nothing new.
Was the Prime Minister Harper wrong in his ethnic outreach? Was it wrong for Jason Kenney to work and build a brand within ethnocultural communities? And did you protest that pandering when you were in government?
First of all, I won't comment what the former government did, but that's not my style. That's not my style to do politics like that. And what I'm telling you, right now, I'm not doing that, and I won't pander to every special interest group. For me, they're Canadians. They're Canadians first, and I want to speak to all Canadians. So what the party did in the past, that's not something that I share.
With it. You didn't. By some people as anti-immigrant. Your tweets have been portrayed by some people as anti-immigrant, and we know Kelly Leitch, for example, she did not do well with some views that were seen that way. Like, are you anti-immigrant? And if so, how's that going to fly?
That's not the case, and I will fight people who bring fake news. I will fight that. I'm very serious about that. And people know, they just have to read the tweet. Speaking about my tweet, we didn't have the question, so yeah. So that question is very important. It is important. It is my tweet. It is my position, and I believe in that. But we're doing that as a team. And as you may know, Martin Maas worked for me for the last 10 years, and now he's going to work full-time with my team. And Martin was the person that started to write the book with me, Doing Politics Differently. So my team and I, every time that I'm tweeting, if it's not me who's doing the tweet, I approve everything because it's political position. It's my tweet, it's my words, it's what I think.
Your party, where are you in in getting the party off the ground? Well, I'm starting. I've started the procedure, and we'll see where it leads over the next few weeks. But of course, it's urgent to get the party up and running as quickly as possible. As this afternoon, I'm going to be getting in touch with Elections Canada to look at what the formalities are to create the party.
2 weeks ago, and is that why you decided to leave? Because you weren't willing to do that anymore?
It was a private discussion, and I will keep that discussion private.
What prompted you, though, a party that you were willing to be the leader of just months ago, and now you're disgusted with it, and you call it morally corrupt? So what has happened over the past couple of months here that I seem to have missed?
Yeah, no. What happened, if you follow the news the last year, you saw that I was very present in the news and speaking about what I believe. But, that's not the position of the party. And my leader told me and every Canadian that I don't have any influence in the party. So that being said,
3 weeks ago, this timing is not lost on anybody. The convention.
I decided.
Why announce this today? It seems to be like you want to inflict maximum damage.
What I decided. When I decided to take that position and having the idea to create a party was after my discussion with Andrew Scheer about 9 days ago. So so after that, we have to find a moment to do that press conference, and I decided to do that here at that time.
Why did you make this decision? What led you to take this decision? Well, it was the discussions that I had, but also the positions of my party, which are totally at odds with the ones that I've been proning over the last few years. I said it in my speech. Supply management. It's unacceptable that the Conservative Party, in fact, defend a position that is against free market and against the consumers. The equalization payment, the same thing. People want to discuss it. It's unfair and inefficient, so my party doesn't want to open that discussion. So I'm not going to waste my time with a party that doesn't want to open these discussions. And I'm not going to spend any more time in a party that doesn't share my ideas. Are you going to take part in the leadership debate? Well, I think that you're going a little ahead of yourself. First of all, we have to create the party and then get candidates throughout Canada, and then we'll see.
What's the difference between the Conservative Party led under Andrew Scheer and the way Stephen Harper led it in terms of shaping the party policy, using polls?
No, you can see the difference right now. You just look at the policies that are proposed during the leadership. You don't see that in the Conservative Party right now, and so that's the reason.
Ces positions-là auraient pu être. Vous auriez pu avoir une influence.
But those positions, you could have had an influence. Well, let's take the stand on supply management was avoided at the last convention. The party doesn't want to make any decisions that might unsettle some people. So we want to make sure that we have polls, we come up with polls and come up with a coded language that's going to be approved by the majority of Canada. But I want to have a debate about ideas, and that's what I intend to do.
With the United States, which strikes me as a strange thing to say. So what would you do to deal with President Trump right now?
Yes, you're right. I'm the only one in the House who's against a trade war, and the only one in the House who's for Canadian consumers. And I'm
with it. I'm not asking you.
You're
what
right.
would you do to manage it?
But you put supply management on the table. You know, the President Trump is saying a lot of things, and but on supply management for the last 6 months, that's the same thing that he's saying on Twitter. And you just have to listen, put that on the table and abolish it for the good of this country, for Canadian consumers. That's the best thing to do. Why? Because maybe that will hurt the party the Liberal Party and my old party in some key ridings. You know, it is not responsible to have a policy like that. And what I'm saying to the Trudeau government right now, put that on the table, abolish it, do like the other countries like New Zealand and Australia that they did it for the good of this country. You know, they're putting at risk 20% of our economy for 19,000 producers on their supply management. I cannot believe that.
Can you feel emboldened by Donald Trump?
What do you mean?
Do you feel that you're starting this new party? He's against supply management. You're against supply management.
Keep using the word fake news. Are you the new Donald Trump?
Do you feel emboldened by Donald Trump? Do you feel?
No. You know, I have my own ideas, and I'm not working for the U.S. government. You know, what I'm telling you, it's the best idea for this country, and the best ideas for this country is to abolish that system. And I'm pleased that the President Trump is asking for that, because the Canadian politicians, they don't have the courage to do that.
But are there any other aspects of his leadership that you're looking to?
No, I'm not looking to any leadership. You know, you cannot. I'm Maxime Bernier, and if you look at my platform and what I did the last 12 years, you'll see that I'm very different than other politicians. And that's why I need to have a new platform to do politics differently. So the last question, please.
You were a Conservative MP for 12 years, so that one conversation with Andrew Scheer has made you bolt the party.
Not only the one conversation. What I'm saying is, the last year I was trying to have the party adopt some of the policies, and you see what happened. So, and after the discussion, and so I said, you know, it's too.
Are you predicting your party will lose the election under Andrew Scheer?
What I'm predicting, I hope so, that will have a lot of Canadians, and that new party will win the next election. So merci.